Hey, welcome to Duane's World. It's me, Duane, the Boozin blogger, coming at you for Wednesday, April 27th. I was kind of not even going to really do a podcast today because I'm not sure I was 100% feeling it. You know, you ever get those days where there's not a lot going on and there's not a lot to motivate you and stuff, but I persevered and here I am. As always, subscribe to my channel. We can always use more subscribers, right? We hit 403, I believe. Let's keep those numbers rocking up. And before I know it, I'll be at 1,000 or, something like that. So I have no real schedule of what I want to talk about today. I think I'm just going to go on and on and on and on and on and stuff. One thing I do want to say is I want to give a shout out to my buddy Skelding because he religiously watches my videos and he's one of my absolute best friends in the world, and he promotes me like no other, and for that, thanks, brother. Also, if you're out and about in Merrickville, I came across this absolutely amazing place to get poutine, and Amy, the owner of the Chipwich, she has a lot of other things on their menu. Stop by, help them out. Like I said, you can't go wrong with their poutine. It is absolutely bar none, probably the best I've ever had. It's really, really good. So yeah, stop by there. All right, let's get on to some news, I guess. So, big news this week. Guy Lafleur passed away at age 70 due to complications from cancer. I remember Guy Lafleur growing up. Absolutely amazing. I got to see him play live once when I was, way younger. But he was absolutely an amazing, amazing hockey player. So fast. And it was unbelievable because the stories about how he would come off the bench and light a smoke or between periods be out there smoking cigarettes, between periods and stuff. And the guy could go, man. That guy was fast and absolutely amazing. And yeah, it's unfortunate, 70 years old. Hockey has lost a true legend. Like I've said this before, I've never been a Canadiens fan, but I am a fan of certain players. And Montreal's had a whole bunch of players that were pretty amazing, but Guy Lafleur is, to me, one of the absolute best to ever play for Montreal. So yeah, he'll be sadly missed by the NHL community and his family, I'm sure. Yeah, it's just too bad. Fucking cancer, I tell you, it takes so much away from people. But yeah, sticking with sports. So I'm not sure how involved in baseball some of my viewers are, watch baseball and stuff. But there's a thing called a shift, okay? And it usually happens when left-handed power hitters come up. And what they'll do is they'll have the first baseman, the second baseman, and the shortstop on the first base side of the second base, and then they'll move the third baseman over to shortstop. And I can't remember what they do in the outfield. I think they power up in the outfield too. And now they're trying to take it away, which makes no sense because, I mean, it's not cheating. You don't get any benefit from it except for the batter has to think more at the plate about where they're going to try and place the ball. Now, you're dealing with professional baseball players. These guys should be able to put a ball pretty much anywhere they want to put a ball. I know their ball's coming in at like 90 miles an hour plus, but I saw the coolest video to show why teams shouldn't play the shift, and that was a guy bunted down the third base line, and there was nobody there to get the ball. And it was the most awful bunt that I've probably ever seen in my life. I know I could have dropped one a lot better than that, but he bunted it, and easily made it to first base because there's nobody there at third to corral the ball. But I don't understand why the league is wanting to change that, because honestly, like, if you can place a ball down the third base line and there's nobody there, that benefits the hitter too. They're saying, well, it's not fair and stuff. Well, it's baseball. You find a way to win, and if that's a way to win, then why not? I don't get the controversy. The more controversy to me is the fact that now there's a designated hitter rule in both fucking leagues. I hate the DH. I absolutely hate it. I mean, it makes it good. Some player, you get to see some better players, like hitters and stuff, because honestly, not a lot of pitchers are that great at hitting anymore. The days of the Braves in the 90s is over, where all their pitchers could hit. But I really hate the DH rule. I think everybody should hit. If you're on the field, you should hit. And again, if with the shift, I think you should be able to, you're allowed 9 players on the field. You should be able to put them wherever in the fuck you want to put them. Makes no sense to change these stupid rules now, does it? Oh, good beer. It's nice and cold. It's kind of a miserable day out here in Duane's world. The weather has not been very nice. In fact, when the wife got up to go to work today, it was sleeting. And we're April 27th. So we're at the end of April and we're still getting shit weather. Oh, God. I wish Mother Nature would stay on her bipolar pills, because, man, or take some Xanax or something. I don't know, but this weather change is absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, what can you do? What else do we have going on in sports? Is there anything? Matthews from the Maple Leafs scored his 60th goal of the season yesterday. That's something. I mean, I think Toronto won't do anything in the playoffs, but I mean, they never do. Prove me wrong. Just prove the Boozin blogger wrong, Toronto and Toronto fans. Like I said, I don't follow hockey much. I'll watch some playoff games, but I don't watch a lot of hockey. It doesn't interest me as much when you get all these guys who make so much money and stuff. I really miss my son playing hockey. I used to love going. He's quit for the last couple of years. He hasn't played. And he's a goalie just like I was. And I miss going to see that, because those kids really work their asses off and stuff. But I just miss that. And I got so used to spending all my time at the rink watching my son that I just sort of forgot about hockey, if that's even possible. I don't know much about it anymore. I mean, there's rule changes and all kinds of other things, and I don't know. I follow football. Go Pats! That's right. Patriots are gonna. Well, let's hope they advance past the first round in the playoffs this year. Well, let's hope they make the playoffs first. But yeah. So what else do we got going on besides sports? I mean, we still got the friggin' war in the Ukraine with the Russians, and everything I read about it just brings me down. The Russians are using some pretty disgusting tactics to wear the Ukrainians down. And I mean, excuse me. I mean, they're doing things like sexually assaulting the women and girls and kids and men. And they just want to show their dominance and take everything they can away from these poor Ukrainians. Now, I'm not sure of the whole thing. It's funny, speaking of this, is that I was watching Ralphie May special from 2015, and he was talking about a war with Russia and the Ukraine. And there you go, Ralphie, you called the future. God bless you. We miss you, Ralphie. He'd probably be canceled right now, though. I'm telling you. But anyways, yeah. So we got the war in the Ukraine. Everybody's, trying to make it so that putting a little bit of pressure on Russia to back the hell off. And Russia did back off for a while. They had to. They had to like leave Ukraine and regroup and stuff and try again. That's to me that's hilarious. How this little country is fighting back and they're giving Russia everything that they can handle. So pretty awesome. Like I mean, holy fuck! With their tail, they're towing tanks with tractors. Like that's ballsy, man. That's just takes balls. I mean, are we surprised? Really? I mean, I remember in the 80s when the Russians came out with that super helicopter and and an Afghani missile took it down, and the guy shot the missile from a camel. So I think it's always funny that the underdogs always intrigue me. They really, really do intrigue me. Oh God. I think I get too comfortable in this chair. Man, this fucks my posture up, but there. Gotta be able to see the Duanes World swag I got going on here. I do need more shirts. People keep bugging me to sell merch and stuff, but it's a pain in the ass. But I think I might actually start looking into it. What else do we got going on? Oh God, the big news this week on Twitter. Elon Musk. He bought Twitter for $44 billion. Why? Why buy Twitter for 40? Do you know how much good a person could do with $44 billion if they, help people, how much they could help people with $44 billion? Maybe pay his own taxes or something. Cause I'm sure it's funny how people like Musk and the dude from Amazon and stuff, how like I mean their taxes, they find loophole after loophole after loophole. And then a person like me who gets totally fucked over by the Revenue Canada. I don't get it. Like I mean, I guess I gotta be rich, eh? Wouldn't it be nice to be rich? $44 billion to buy a multimedia application. Twitter might get interesting again, though. Musk is big on the freedom of speech thing, and I'm sure it'll be only a freedom of speech thing until it contravenes him. But yeah, so Elon is big on freedom of speech. So I bet you in no time flat, ex-President Trump will venture back onto Twitter because he's still banned from Twitter, which is good. But on the negative side about that, when Trump was on Twitter, it was kind of funny because like you never knew what that asshole was going to say. Like really, you didn't know what he was going to say, and every day, multiple tweets and stuff. The guy's lost his mind. I really hope he's not running for president again, but he probably will. And but yeah, so Elon, I bet you one of the big first things he does is allow Trump back on Twitter. I mean, I'm all for free speech. You should be able to say what you want, except, okay, there's places where you can't say what you want, right? You can't scream fire in a movie theater and shit like that. But I'm pretty much for free speech. And that goes both ways too. I don't pick and choose my sides. Racism and all that other shit is absolutely disgusting, vile. You can't promote hate. But I mean, they do kind of have the same rights that everybody else does. I know it's unfair and unjust because these people, but I also know that if you say things, you've got the First Amendment to freedom of speech when you're in the U.S. You've got, I guess we have a sort of freedom of speech here in Canada, but I mean, it's not what you say. It's people. It's if you're going to say it, you got to take what the consequences bring you. And so I am kind of for freedom of speech, but there are some things like, I mean, you do get sick of Trump. Like, I mean, lying, all this false information about COVID and all that other shit. And I think misinformation is society's downfall right now because there is so much misinformation out there and people get into these conspiracy theories and shit. So if we bring Trump back to Twitter, oh God, it's going to get even worse because it's still bad, right? I mean, you still got sides with COVID saying that the needle doesn't work, and then you got the other sides that say it does, and you got people fighting about it and fighting about masks and everything else. I don't know. Like, I mean, we're pretty much mask free now, and we don't have a lot of restrictions now either. But I mean, our numbers are still going up. I mean, there's not as many people dying now, but our numbers are still going. So we still have to be aware of the fact that this damn disease is still out there. But I mean, whatever. Uh, it's yeah, it's just something we're gonna have to live with, right? But the numbers are going up. I hate talking COVID because, like, I mean, you can argue with a million people about COVID and neither one's right. I don't give a shit. To me, there is no perfect answer to any of these COVID arguments. There's no real perfect answer. There isn't. Like, I do think parts of it are funny when, people who barely finished grade 10 are the ones coming out on Facebook and on social media saying that the doctors all got it wrong. And it's like, dude, you can barely spell your fucking name. Yep, COVID's still out there, folks. Be careful. For all the people that have caught it lately and have said it's no big deal, I found that to be the truth too. And stuff like 1 day of sickness and then you're fine. So it's kind of like a flu. What else do we got going on in the world? Come on, folks. You're not giving me anything to play with here. Nobody ever gives me ideas of things to talk about. Every once in a while, somebody will. But so this is my dilemma on Wednesdays is that I try to do stories that aren't mainstream and stuff. I don't know if it's better or worse for me to do that, but I try not to. Like, one of the big stories this week was Mike Tyson. He used to be the baddest man on the planet. I talked about this on my blog on Monday, and Tyson was being heckled, for a better word of it, on a plane before he even took off. There's a guy behind him bothering the shit out of him. Tyson got up and hit him a few times. Tyson's got himself in trouble, right? Of course, because he's Mike Tyson. But what about the dude that was mouthing him? I think these people that start this drama, I think once in a while you should be able to just punch them. And I'm not an advocate of violence or anything, but sometimes enough is enough. Like, I mean, why couldn't Mike just sit on the plane? He was already baked from some sort of stoner convention in San Francisco. He was already baked. So, like, I mean, Let him enjoy his buzz. Let him fly to Miami and do his thing down in Miami. And but no, this dude decided he was going to get in his face and bother him and stuff. And then finally, Mike became Mike again. And the guy really did know that Mike would lose his cool. That's Mike Tyson. Like I said, he used to be the baddest man in the planet. And the guy, of course, baited him. Mike took it. Now Mike's going to get sued. And I really hope when they go to court, if it even goes to court, that the judges see what has happened here, that they see this dickhead, this real bitch of a human being, antagonize Mike Tyson to the point where he wants to throw punches. And I think, you know what, we only should have to take so much. I don't think we should have to take all the crap. Sooner or later, we got to be able to give it back to them. And that's the thing too. Like, I mean, in this day and age with social media and everything else, too many people are too brave on their keyboard. Yeah, they call them keyboard warriors, and they are. They're just way too brave, and they get mouthing online, and they forget how to deal with it in public, because when you're mouthing to a person in public, it's a whole shitload different than it is online. Online, they're not coming after you. In public, yeah, that just might happen. You just might lose a couple of your chicklets. So yeah, I hate people like that. I mean, if you can say it online, you can say it live. You can say it to somebody's face, right? I don't think I've said anything online that I wouldn't be brave enough to say to somebody's face. I really don't. And you know what? I grew up in a time where that shit happened all the time. Like, I mean, back when I grew up in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, you watched what you said, because you would get a punch in the head. If you mouthed at people older than you or bigger than you, good chance you're going to get a punch right in the head. And I kind of miss that, because some people really do need a punch in the head. They really do. So yeah, I remember a friend of mine, he got beat up by 3 guys, and he went to each one of their houses individually and pulled them outside and beat all 3 of them. Separate time. And that's the way it used to be. Like, I mean, that's the way it was growing up in a small town too. You had to watch what you say, because it was always going to get back to the person, or if you did something stupid, they can always find you. And maybe that's why I hold the same thing now, is that I'm not going to say anything online that I wouldn't say to somebody's faces. But there are so many people that feel empowered by their keyboard and stuff. And this dude with Mike Tyson, he just found out that no, that's not very cool, because unlike your keyboard and your monitor, something hits back. And I think it's hilarious. I do. I really think it's hilarious. And I think Mike should be applauded. He finally said, fuck you, and did something about it. And no, I'm not drunk. I'm just kind of mellow today, by the way. This is only beer 2, and I'm only, this far into it? Yeah, kind of mellow today. That's all. I know it's weird, eh? Usually I'm a little bit more excitable and stuff, and today just hanging out, relaxing, chilling. And I think maybe I need to do more of that, because, like, I mean, especially with my heart condition. But I think I really need to. I think we do as a whole. People get too excited over shit. And yeah, maybe we should just learn to relax more and take it easy. I don't even know how long I've been going. But I think I might cut it off here. I'll be back on Friday with a blog. Take care of yourselves. Remember to subscribe to my channel. It's over here somewhere. Yeah, subscribe. It's also down here somewhere. I think it's right there. Subscribe to my channel. I can always use more subscribers. Like I said, let's get her up to like 1,000 people. Wouldn't that be amazing? 1,000 people is like the Boozin bloggers army of people. But yeah, no, this has been my podcast. Hope everybody has a great week. Take care of each other. Just a little bit of looking out for each other will go a long way. And remember the most important thing in life: don't be a fucking asshole.